Hello my friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today is part 2 of my best of 2020. These are some of my favorite releases on Blu-ray and 4K for the year 2020. And as predicted, there is going to be a part 3 because I looked at the stack that I still have to talk about, and there's so much more. So before we get into the video today, I am going to choose the winner for the digital code giveaway from last video. It's for the digital codes for the trilogies of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and also the Blade 4K release. And I want to thank everyone who entered and who continues to support the channel. Hello to all the new subscribers, and it's because of all of you guys that I am able to do things like this, because as the channel continues to grow, I'm able to do physical media giveaways, digital code giveaways, things like that. So I think I just got some new movies in today. I believe they have codes, so if they do, I'm going to post part 3 of this at the end of the week, and I will announce another digital code giveaway if I have some codes to share with you. But so I have 51 entrants. I put 1 to 51 in the random number generator. We're going to find out who the winner is, so do a drum roll. Ready? Dun, 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 dun. The winner is number 26. So if your number was 26 in the comments, I am going to leave you a comment, and I will tell you how to get a hold of me so I can send your codes out right away. So congratulations, number 26, and I will be in touch. Now I'm just going to get right into my picks for today because I don't want this video to run crazy long. I'm also going to keep my commentary brief because these are just my best of. They're not really reviews. My first one should come as no surprise because I did talk about it immediately when it came out, and it is the complete series on Blu-ray of The Office. And how long I've been waiting for a proper release for The Office, I can't even tell you, because it's been on Netflix for a long time, and I've always depended on Netflix just to, you know, put it on and watch a few episodes here and there. But I have the collection. I have half of it on Blu-ray, half of it on DVD, and it's just, I just wanted one uniform set with one format, and we got it. So happy to have The Office. It's a classic. It's one of the funniest shows ever. It's one of my favorites, and I will get a lot of miles. These are going to get a lot of miles put on them. So happy to have The Office on Blu-ray, and it had to make my list for favorite releases of 2020. And this next one is actually a sports documentary. Surprise, surprise. I'm not really a sports person per se, but I do enjoy movies and documentaries about sports. And I will watch sports once in a while. It depends what it is and what's on and who's playing and who's forcing me to watch it. But this is part of the ESPN series. It's a 10-part documentary. It is on Netflix, so if you don't want to buy the physical copy, it's on Netflix. It's called The Last Dance. And it's about the heyday of the Chicago Bulls basketball team, which was in the 1990s. And you're talking Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, that crew. And I remember working in bars and restaurants at the time, and you could not go by a television set where the Bulls weren't doing something amazing in a game. And I got really into following the team. I followed them for years, and I just loved it. And when I saw this come out on Netflix, I had to watch it. I loved it. Whether you're a sports fan or not, it is a great documentary series. So either pick it up on physical or check it out while it's still on Netflix. I mean, I don't know if it's going away anytime soon, but check it out on Netflix or pick it up on physical. But either way, definitely watch The Last Dance. It's a good one. And this is one that I've talked about before because it got a Blu-ray release, and true to form, a few months later, we now have a 4K release. Are we shocked? No. Anyway, this is an HBO 5-part miniseries for Chernobyl. And this is the 4K Steelbook. Just picked it up a couple weeks ago. So I will be selling my Blu-ray set. But anyway, this is about the events of Chernobyl. And they do a really great job of showing us what a dire event this was, how the events took place, what they did to kind of try to remediate it, also how people tried to cut corners and other people tried to stop that from happening so that the situation wouldn't become even more catastrophic than it already was. And lives were saved because of smart action of certain people, and this was a terrible thing that happened, and it could have been even worse than what it was, and it was already terrible. But if you haven't seen Chernobyl, I highly recommend it. And if you have access to HBO or HBO Max, I'm sure you can check it out that way. I don't personally have cable, but I'm very happy to have it on physical, and we'll definitely be watching this again. So Chernobyl, definitely one of my favorites of the year. So next one, we've talked about this one too, but I had to include it, and it's the 4K Ultra HD of the Alfred Hitchcock Classics Collection. It includes Rear Window, Vertigo, Psycho, and The Birds. And it does come in this, like, I call it a digibook, but there's no writing, but they do the poster art. They did the poster art on the inside, and it looks really nice. It's a very good-looking set. It has the Blu-ray on one side, the disc goes in the page, and has the 4K on the other side. Not my favorite way to house Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, what have you, but it's fine. It works. The discs come in and out easily enough, but they also stay in place, which is good. As far as the transfers, I've watched all these. They really, really look good. The only critique I have is that in The Birds, the fake birds look even more fake than they ever have in 4K. So don't be surprised. It's a little jarring when you see those birds the first time, but really, really good collection. Great picks on movies, and kind of hoping they do a second set of this, because it would be great to get a lot more Alfred Hitchcock on 4K. And I always love the classic Hitchcock. They're amazing. This is a set that this is a newer set that just came out from Mill Creek put it out, and it is the Ultimate Collection 20 film set of Hammer films. So it's a box set. On the back you have all the films, and again, I mean, it's not the highest quality as far as it's a heavy paper, like a cardboard a box. It comes with a book, and each movie has like poster artwork. That's how they show the movies. And the movies that are included in this: Revenge of Frankenstein, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, These Are the Damned, The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, The Old Dark House, The Gorgon, Cash on Demand, The Snorkel, Maniac, Die Die My Darling, Stop Me Before I Kill, Never Take Candy from a Stranger, Scream of Fear, The Stranglers of Bombay, Terror of the Tongs, The Pirates of Blood River, The Sword of Sherwood Forest, that's a mouthful, The Camp on Blood Island, Yesterday's Enemy, and Creatures the World Forgot. So it's a little, I will call it a buffet of Hammer films, because when people think Hammer, we automatically think horror, classic horror. But they did a lot of other things too. You know, they did the Swashbucklers and things like that. So I'm glad they included some of that in this set. And there's also bonus features. There are audio commentaries and featurettes on various ones on the back of the book. So the book normally slips in here, and each Blu-ray either has 2, or some of them have 3. I guess if the films are shorter, they have 3, but most of them have 2 films on each disc, and it does have the flipper tray, so there's no stacking of the discs. They did a really nice job with this set, and it's well put together, and I'm just happy to have them another Hammer set where you have a bunch of films all in one place. I know a lot of people like the single releases, but if you just want to get a nice overview of what Hammer has to offer, some of what Hammer has to offer, this is a nice way to start. And the price isn't bad either. For 20 films, I think it was around $70, but you could have a price drop by now. Check Amazon, but definitely, if you're into Hammer, definitely check out that collection, because it's a nice, like I said, it's a nice buffet of films. So on to the next one. I was so excited when this got a Blu-ray release. This is a film that it wasn't out that long, had a quiet release, and then it picked up steam, and I was so happy when I heard Ronin Flicks was giving a Blu-ray release to Haunt. And I did do an unboxing of the collector's edition of this. I'll put it up here if you're interested. But Haunt, finally on Blu-ray, finally with some nice special features. It has new audio commentary. It has the making of Haunt. It has interviews with writers, directors, actors. It shows makeup, special effects with makeup and with a makeup artist. So really, really good stuff. It has a bunch of special features if you want to check that out on the back. But this is such a fun film for Halloween, and I've talked about it before. It's a haunt that gets set up around a college, and some of the kids go in and bad things happen. But really fun. So happy that it finally got a Blu-ray release, so it definitely had to be one of my favorites for this year. And now this next one, I pulled out just this one, but I'm going to go with the whole series of films that are coming out on this line. I just love it. It's the Paramount Presents line, and I really love what they're doing with this, and I think that I hope it's a thing that catches on and just they keep going with it. This is number 6. It's Pretty in Pink, and I believe it's the first time to Blu-ray for this one. But I have I think I have like 10 of the releases, but I just grabbed this one off the shelf to talk about and show you, if you haven't seen it before, how they present it. It comes in it's a slipcase with a clear Amaray case, and you have your artwork on the front, and then it's a gatefold where you open it up and they show the original poster art on the inside. They also have numbered spines. As you can see, that's number, hopefully you can see that. Is it focusing? Maybe not. Sorry if it's not focusing. But it's number 6, and then you have new special features. They have a featurette, filmmaker, focus. They have isolated scores, and then they have some original special features, which they seem to be doing that for these. They seem to be doing some new features, and then porting over old ones from previous releases. And they also do, each Blu-ray gets remastered from 4K film transfers. So the Blu-rays look great. When you open up the clear case, you have your disc in here, but they also have nice interior artwork from the movies. So all in all, I think they're doing a really great job with the Paramount Presents line, and I think what it does is it's showing that Paramount is committed to the physical media collecting, and they're taking catalog titles and they're giving them a refresh or a first time to Blu-ray, and there's love and care that goes into these. And I think it's really important to support that, because like with a lot of bigger studios dropping off on the physical media, when we see a company or a studio like Paramount taking on a new line like this, if you can, support it, because we want to keep this going, and it's a way to get catalog titles out on Blu-ray where maybe they wouldn't, otherwise get there. But Pretty in Pink looked great. It's a lot of fun. It's a classic, and I love it. So I'm very happy with that and with the whole Paramount Presents line. I'm just going to grab some Criterions and we're going to wrap this one up. Okay friends, I'm back and I have my Criterion picks for 2020. This is not to say that there are not loads more from the year that are deserving of being in a best of list, but these are just the ones that jumped out at me first. So this list could change down the road as I get into more of the films that I picked up and maybe haven't had time to spend enough time with. This first one, I waited so long for this release. I couldn't wait for it to get a proper release. It is Spine number 1054, Parasite. And we had a Blu-ray release, we had a 4K release, we had Steelbook releases, but it took Criterion getting a hold of it to give it a proper release that included special features. All the other ones had nothing. They were just really empty releases aside from the film. But this film is in a league of its own. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of horror, a little bit of family drama, some comedy. It's won every award you can think of, including Best Picture. And if you haven't seen Parasite yet, or you're waiting for the right edition to pick up, definitely consider the Criterion one, because it is the one to get, I think. If you're interested in seeing more about the film, the special features, whatnot, because it comes loaded with special features, and I have not been disappointed with any of this that I've seen. So Parasite was my first one. Next one is a film by David Lynch. It stars Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt. It is Spine number 1051, The Elephant Man. And I know I've talked about this before. I've talked about most of these before. If you haven't seen it, it is the story of John Merrick, who was a man. He was born with a condition that left him horribly disfigured. And this film is about a part of his life. It will show you the best and the worst of humanity. It is a moving film. It is a sometimes happy film and sometimes very, very sad film. But I think this is wonderfully presented by Criterion. They did a fantastic job with it. The transfer looks great. It's loaded with special features, and it's definitely, I consider it a must-have for my personal collection. But if you're interested in The Elephant Man, definitely consider the Criterion version. And this one I just talked about recently too. It's Spine number 1057, Forrest Whitaker in Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. It's a Jim Jarmusch film. And This is a fantastic film. Great performance by Forrest Whitaker. He plays the ghost dog, who is he is a hitman for local gangsters, and he has a very interesting way of keeping communication with them, which I'm not going to get into, and I did not get into in my review of it. But really, really good performances, great story, and awesome soundtrack. So if you haven't seen Ghost Dog, I would highly recommend checking out the Criterion version of it. It has so many special features. I mean, I'm just going to show you real quick this whole paragraph here. That's all special features. And like I said, the soundtrack is amazing. I've downloaded the soundtrack from iTunes, but really, really good stuff. And I think it's one of Forrest Whitaker's best performances. So definitely check out Ghost Dog on Criterion. And this next one, this is a beautiful, beautiful film. It's a timepiece. It is, the costumes are beautiful. The lighting is beautiful. The furniture that they chose for the sets, the setting, everything is beautiful. The set design, the location, everything about it is beautiful. It is The Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It is spine number 1034. If you haven't seen this one, I highly recommend it. It's a story about a young woman who, she's a painter. She's commissioned to paint a portrait. This happens to be the portrait of a gal who is being put in an arranged marriage. She's being shipped off to a husband, I believe, in Italy. And he wants to see a picture of her before he agrees to the arranged marriage. Problem is, she doesn't want to be shipped off and she doesn't want to be married, so she does not want to be painted. So they tell the painter, you have to paint her, but you have to paint her from memory because you cannot let her know because she will not sit for you. And this is the story of their friendship and subsequent relationship. And there is beauty in this. There is humor in it. There is sadness in it. There's a little bit of everything in this, and it is just a beautifully put together and presented moving film, and it's one that will stay with you for a long time. It also has a lot of special features. It looks amazing. The transfer is amazing. So if you haven't seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire yet, put it high on your list because it's definitely worth the pickup, and Criterion is the way to go for that one. Now this one, I saw it on Netflix. I haven't checked out I haven't checked it out since I got it on Criterion, but I enjoyed it on Netflix, and I wanted to see it again, and I also wanted to do special features because that's another reason we do physical as opposed to streaming, because you don't get the special features on the streaming, and we all know we love those. It is spine number 1058, The Irishman, Martin Scorsese film. And that is it's a beautifully designed release. It's a slip box, and I had to show you this because everything looks like paint. They're done like paintings. You have Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. I mean, they're really, really beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. And it comes with a book. I heard you paint houses. Anyway, it comes with here we go. And you get the book. But anyway, the only thing, I enjoyed the film. I did enjoy the film. The only thing I found a little strange in this film was when they tried to make Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci look younger. That was just really off-putting to me. I felt like the makeup was just bad. They looked like two grandfathers posing as fathers who had really bad makeup on, and that's the only, I know it's a little convoluted way of saying it, but that was the only part of this that I didn't really care for. I watched it in one sitting. It's a long runtime. It's 209 minutes, and I think when I watch it this next time, I'm going to break it up into a few segments so that I can really digest it more and take in more of what's going on. And then, as usual, I want to get into the special features because it has tons of them. Look at this back here. Again, with the special features. So yeah, The Irishman had to make my list for best of 2020. This next one, this was all a buzz. This is a very, very tough, dark film to watch, but it is so well done, and it is a real rough look at war. It is spine number 1035. Come and see. And this was just, it's so well done. It's a very tough film. It is a draining film, emotionally draining film. But if you're up for it, I think it's one of the best war movies I've seen in a very long time. So It has a lot of special features, as all Criterions do. The picture quality is great. The film is from 1985, so it's not an old film, but the picture quality looks great, sound was great and everything. But if you haven't seen Come and See and you're up for the task, then definitely check out the Criterion version, because it's a good one. Tough film though. It's draining. And this was the directorial debut from Paul Dano. It is spine number 1031, Wildlife. I loved this. I had no idea what to expect. I knew that he had Jake Gyllenhaal, and Paul Dano was directing it, and he had Jake Gyllenhaal starring in it. I think Carey Mulligan. Yeah, Carey Mulligan. And it's about it's a family drama set in the 1960s, and in Montana. Yeah, Montana. And wow, what a beautiful film. Paul Dano has such an eye. He has such a great eye for direction. He's a big fan of the long shot. He lets you take in the landscape and the surroundings. His cinematography style is great. He really hit it out of the park with this one, and I can't wait to see what his future projects are, because I think he has a very bright future in direction, being a director. But really, really good stuff. And if you haven't seen Wildlife yet, put it on your list. It has a nice selection of special features, and it's from 2018, and it looks excellent. The transfer is amazing. The sound is good, nice and clear, and it's a dialogue-driven movie, but you have such beautiful cinematography and such beautiful landscapes around you. It's just a must-see, and he did such a fantastic job with this, so definitely check out Wildlife. And then I have a box set, which should come as no surprise, because I think it's pretty much on everybody's list this year. It is The Greatest Hits of Bruce Lee, spine number 1036. And I just started dipping into this. I watched 2 of the movies, and I can't wait to finish it up. It looks great. It sounds great. Bruce Lee has never looked better, and it's films are from 1971 to 1978. So if you're a fan of Bruce Lee, I know the box sets can get a little pricey, so this is definitely one that you would want to pick up during a sale. But it had to make my list for best of 2020, because this is just something that is, I think, a must-have for any Bruce Lee fan. So that would be my last Criterion pick, and that is my last title for part 2. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you maybe got some ideas for things that maybe fell through the cracks or you missed out on, or things that you want to put on your list to pick up. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments, suggestions, recommendations. Consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you know when I upload again. Like I said, I'll be doing part 3 at the end of the week. So I think that's it for today. And I'm going to go and eat some dinner and hang out and watch some movies. But for now, that's a wrap.